Archangel Michael says, "The silence that surrounds you now is not emptiness, it is the weight of realization settling into the heart of the one who once hurt you." They never imagined your soul would still shine with this much light after all the storms they caused. The truth is breaking them inside, because what they thought was weakness has turned into your greatest strength. They remember every harsh word, every cold moment, every wound they left on your spirit. Yet now, instead of victory, they feel regret that runs so deep it shakes their very soul. Your kindness is echoing back at them louder than all their cruelty ever did. You were never defined by what they did to you. You were defined by the way you kept moving, the way you refused to let bitterness poison your heart. And now, they can see that your light is something no shadow of their making could destroy. The more they watch you stand tall, the more they feel the sting of their own choices. They are haunted by the truth that they lost someone whose purity could have healed them, if only they had treasured it sooner. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Your person is lying awake at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering how they could have let themselves act so blindly. Memories flood in, the laughter, the warmth, the little ways you showed care when they least deserved it. Their chest grows heavy, because they realize that was real love, and they pushed it away. It's not revenge that is striking them, it's realization. They see you now, more radiant, more unshaken, as though heaven itself stood beside you through the fire. And in the quiet corners of their soul, they whisper apologies you may never hear. They thought they had the power to break you, but instead, you rose with unshakable grace. Your soul remained soft, your spirit remained kind, and that is what terrifies them the most. For every wound they gave, you responded with dignity, and that has left them speechless. Inside their chest, the storm of regret grows louder. They are learning the hardest lesson, that hurting someone pure does not destroy them, it destroys you. And now, they are carrying the weight of their own mistakes. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Archangel Michael says, "Heaven saw the nights you cried, the mornings you forced a smile, the days you carried heaviness without letting it change your heart. All of it was counted, all of it was witnessed. And now, those same moments are being turned into the very proof of your purity. Your person cannot escape the reflection in the mirror. They look at themselves and see what they became, someone who didn't deserve the light they were given. Yet when they look at you, they see someone who never let their actions corrupt your soul. That's why they are restless, why they keep replaying every choice, every word, every moment. They feel like the world has flipped, because you are still pure, and they are the one left broken. The tables have turned, not by revenge, but by your resilience. They can feel the weight of the divine pressing on their conscience. No distraction, no noise, no escape can remove the truth. They wronged a soul that was made of rare light. And that realization is burning within them. Type Amen to get blessing 555. They thought time would erase it all, but time has only magnified the truth. Instead of forgetting, they are remembering you more vividly with each passing day. Every detail, every gesture, every piece of your heart they once ignored is now shining in their memory. The more they remember, the more they realize your worth was never ordinary. You were a gift, and they treated you like something replaceable. That regret has become a shadow that follows them everywhere they go. Your purity is haunting them, not because you wanted revenge, but because you never stooped to their level. You never mirrored their cruelty, you remained yourself. And now, they are forced to admit you were always above the storm they dragged you into. It cuts them deeply to see you smiling now, not broken, not ruined, but standing stronger than ever. It's as if your spirit was unshakable, and their mistakes only made you shine brighter. Type Amen to get blessing 666. They scroll through memories like old photographs in their mind, and each one pierces their heart. They realize that no matter how hard they tried to forget, your soul left an imprint they cannot erase. You became the standard their heart cannot escape. Their guilt is not just about what they did, it's about what they lost. They lost a chance at peace, at real love, at something eternal. And no matter what they find now, it never measures up to the purity you carried. Your name lingers in their chest like a song they can't silence. They feel tears forming when they remember the softness of your voice, the sincerity of your care. Because now they know, they will never find that again. Every day is a reminder that the one they hurt was the very one who could have lifted them higher. And now, heaven has made sure they cannot run from that truth. Type Amen to get blessing 777. Their heart trembles when they realize how your silence speaks louder than words. You did not need to fight back, you did not need to prove anything, because your soul itself became the evidence of your truth. They are left staring at the reflection of their actions, broken by the realization that you never deserved a single wound. Every corner of their memory now feels like a courtroom, where their own conscience is the judge. They thought they had buried the past, but the past keeps resurfacing, reminding them of your light. Instead of peace, they feel restless, because their own heart accuses them every night. The world sees you stronger, happier, and untouched by bitterness. But they see you differently, they see the one they broke, who still radiates purity, and that vision shakes them to the core. They cannot escape the truth, no matter how far they run. Every dream they have is filled with fragments of your presence. They wake up in tears, realizing that they are haunted not by you, but by their own choices. The haunting is not a punishment, it is the echo of love they destroyed. Type Amen to get blessing 888. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, the reason they cannot forget you is because heaven has marked your soul as rare. You are not replaceable, you are not ordinary, and now they know it. That truth will follow them forever, and it will shape the path of their destiny. When they see your growth, they feel both proud and crushed. Proud, because you became everything they knew you could be. Crushed, because they were never the reason for your strength, they were the obstacle you had to overcome. The purity of your soul is not just about forgiveness, it is about the way you still carry compassion, even after pain. That is why heaven lifts you higher, while they remain stuck in their regrets. Their heart aches, because they realize you are blessed in ways they cannot touch. They whisper apologies to the wind, hoping somehow they reach you. But you no longer need their words, because heaven already gave you justice by turning your pain into power. And that is why your spirit remains untouchable. Type Amen to get blessing 999. They can no longer look at others without comparing them to you. No matter who stands beside them, no matter what face smiles at them, they feel empty. Because deep down, they know they let go of the purest soul they could ever meet. Every message, every laugh, every moment they share with others feels hollow. It is not because others are unworthy, but because they realize no one could ever match the purity of your presence. You left an imprint that eternity itself cannot erase. Their heart beats heavy when they remember how easily they dismissed you. They thought you would always stay, no matter how much they hurt you. But your silence, your distance, and your strength have now become their greatest punishment. They feel jealousy, not because you hurt them back, but because you moved forward without them. You are not broken, you are not ruined, you are glowing. And that glow burns them with the fire of their own regret. Type Amen to get blessing 1111. The world may never know how much they ache for your forgiveness. They carry it secretly, like a shadow chained to their soul. It is a weight they cannot lift, a wound that will not heal, because they know they created it themselves. You are the proof that purity cannot be destroyed. Even after storms, you shine brighter than the sun they tried to cover. And that truth humbles them, leaving them in tears. When they see your smile, they feel both admiration and pain. Admiration, because your smile survived the storm. Pain, because they were the reason for the storm. And now, all they can do is watch as your light grows beyond their reach. They see blessings flow to you, and they realize heaven chose you long before they tried to break you. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. Their mind replays every scene where you chose love instead of anger. They never understood at the time, but now they see it was your soul showing its strength. You did not fight them with words, you fought them with grace. That grace has become their torment and their teacher. It teaches them that hurting a pure soul only leaves you with emptiness. It teaches them that the one they tried to forget becomes unforgettable. The emptiness grows inside them like a storm that has no end. They try to smile in public, but at night, they collapse under the weight of what they lost. And every tear reminds them of the truth, they let go of someone heaven sent. They are learning the hardest lesson of their life. The lesson that you don't realize the worth of a rare soul until it's gone. And now, your absence is louder than their presence could ever be. Type Amen to get blessing 1313. The ache in their heart is not just guilt, it is recognition. They recognize that what they touched was holy, and what they broke was rare. And now, that awareness cuts them sharper than any blade could. They keep asking themselves silently why you never turned bitter. They can't understand how you still move with kindness, how you still speak with gentleness, even when you had every reason to close your heart. Your spirit remains untouched, and that fact leaves them trembling. Every person they meet now becomes a mirror. When others laugh, they remember your laughter. When others care, they remember your warmth. Nothing compares, and it drives them into silence. Your name lingers in their chest like a heartbeat that refuses to fade. They cannot replace you, because your essence was not something that could ever be replaced. They lost you, but they cannot erase you. Type Amen to get blessing 1414. Archangel Michael says, this is why heaven lifted you higher instead of letting you sink. You were tested, you were tried, and you remained pure. That purity became your shield, and now it shines as their reminder forever. They thought power came from control, but now they see power came from purity. You had no need to fight dirty, you rose above. And now, they are left in the ashes of their own decisions. Your glow is undeniable, even to those who don't know your story. People see you and sense the strength that came from survival without hatred. And that glow keeps reaching your person, piercing their spirit like a truth they can't ignore. Their regret is not only sorrow, it is revelation. They know now that hurting you was the same as hurting themselves. And every day forward, they will carry that truth like a scar. Type Amen to get blessing 1515. They see you winning quietly, moving gracefully, and they know they no longer belong in your story. Still, they cannot stop watching, hoping for a glimpse, hoping for a sign that maybe forgiveness is possible. But forgiveness doesn't erase the mark, it only exposes how undeserving they were. Their friends notice the sadness in their eyes. They try to cover it with laughter, but even their laughter feels empty. Because inside, their soul is mourning the loss of something eternal. The walls they once built now crumble. They thought shutting you out would give them control, but shutting you out only destroyed their peace. You were the anchor they didn't recognize until it was gone. Now, every step they take feels heavier, because their heart remembers what their mind tries to forget. The memory of your soul follows them like a shadow, and it will never leave. Type Amen to get blessing 1616. They remember the nights when you prayed for them in silence. They remember the moments when you gave them love without expecting anything back. And that memory brings tears to their eyes, because they didn't deserve your goodness. The heaviness grows as they realize that your love was their protection, and they threw it away. You carried them when they didn't even know how to carry themselves. And now, they walk without your light, stumbling in their own darkness. You, however, remain untouched. Every trial they gave you became fuel for your transformation. And your soul shines brighter now than ever before. The contrast between your light and their shadow is unbearable to them. Because they know, they created the distance, and now they must live with it. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. Your person feels the echo of heaven's justice. Not revenge, not punishment, but justice. The kind of justice where purity becomes unstoppable, and regret becomes the chain of the one who caused harm. They cannot escape the images of your smile, your eyes, your touch of kindness. Those memories are no longer sweet, they are painful reminders of what they destroyed. And still, they cannot let them go. Your story became their haunting. They thought they had the upper hand, but now, they are the ones held captive by memory. And you, the one who was once broken, walk free. This truth is reshaping them. Slowly, painfully, they are being forced to learn what it means to value purity. And it is your soul that taught them the lesson. Type Amen to get blessing 1818. They carry your image in their silence like a hidden prayer. No matter how much they try to distract themselves, they cannot run away from what your soul represents. You were the light they didn't value, and now, that light becomes the flame that burns their regrets. They remember the way you forgave without asking, the way you gave without counting, and the way you loved without conditions. These memories cut deeper than any wound they ever received in their own life. Because it proves you were always different, you were heaven's rare gift. They now realize that the way you endured pain without becoming bitter is something extraordinary. Most people turn cold when betrayed, but you kept your heart open. That is why your soul shines brighter than theirs could ever comprehend. Every step they take now feels hollow, because the presence of your love once filled their path. Without it, the ground beneath their feet feels empty, and they are left searching for something they already lost. Type Amen to get blessing 1919. Archangel Michael says, your soul is now surrounded by a shield of divine favor. No weapon of regret, jealousy, or sorrow can ever touch you again. Instead, those who caused your pain are left to wrestle with their own shadows. Your person sees your strength in silence. You do not shout, you do not demand, you do not remind them of their wrongs. Yet your purity screams louder than their excuses ever could. They now see that true power lies not in control, but in compassion. And the more they reflect on your soul, the more powerless they feel against their own guilt. They are broken because your kindness revealed the truth about who they really are. The balance of destiny has shifted. Where once they thought they had control, now you stand elevated, and they are the one left trembling. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. Your name still echoes in their heart every morning when they wake. They try to silence it, but it returns like a tide they cannot stop. And every time, the echo reminds them that you are the one who loved them purely. Every time they look at others, they search for traces of you. But no one carries your softness, your warmth, or your purity. It becomes unbearable, because they realize you were one of a kind. Their guilt is no longer hidden, it seeps into their daily life. They act differently, they speak with hesitation, and they carry heaviness that others cannot see. But you can feel it, because heaven whispers the truth to your spirit. And though they may never say it aloud, their heart whispers apologies in the silence of night. Apologies for hurting the one soul that would have carried them to the light. Type Amen to get blessing 2121. They remember moments when you smiled through pain. They never understood how you could carry sorrow and still shine so brightly. But now they realize, that was the power of your soul, a power no wound could destroy. That smile now haunts them, because it reminds them of everything they lost. The purity in your expression was never weakness, it was strength beyond human understanding. And now, it has become the greatest mirror of their failures. Every blessing that flows into your life now strikes their heart. They realize the more they hurt you, the more heaven blessed you. They watch from afar, and they cannot help but feel both awe and regret. The truth is undeniable, you rose, while they fell into their own shadow. And that truth will remain for eternity. Type Amen to get blessing 2222. Their tears come silently now, hidden from the world. They carry the pain in private, because they know no one would understand. No one can understand the regret of losing someone as pure as you. They tried to replace you, but every attempt only deepened their emptiness. Every new face reminded them of what they could never find again. And that emptiness has become their constant companion. You became the standard their heart cannot escape. They measure everyone against you, and no one matches. Because what you carried was not human effort, it was divine light. And now, they are left with the truth that your purity is eternal. It will never fade, never weaken, never be forgotten. Type Amen to get blessing 2323. The regret sits in their chest like a weight that won't move. They remember how easily they dismissed your kindness, how quickly they overlooked your heart. Now, those same moments replay like echoes, each one piercing them deeper. They thought you would stay broken forever, but instead, you rose stronger than ever before. And that rise is what shatters them now. Because the one they tried to weaken became the one they can never reach again. Every place they walk feels different because they feel your absence. The laughter that once filled their days is now silence. And that silence is a punishment far greater than anything else. When they hear your name, their body stiffens. They cannot even respond, because the pain is too strong. Your name is no longer just a memory, it is their deepest reminder of what they lost. Type Amen to get blessing 2424. Archangel Michael says, "You have stepped into a light that no one can take from you. The tears you cried were gathered, the wounds you carried were healed, and the strength you gained has become your crown." They see it, and it crushes them. Your soul was never meant to be broken. It was always meant to rise. And now that you have, the ones who hurt you are left standing in the shadow of their own regrets. They know they can never undo what they did. They know they can never return to the place where they had your trust. And that truth has become the fire that burns them every single day. Still, they hope you remember their humanity. They hope that somewhere, somehow, you know that they regret everything. But even if you never acknowledge it, their soul will never stop carrying it. Type Amen to get blessing 2525. Your soul is the proof that light cannot be dimmed. No matter how dark the storm, you survived it with purity intact. And that is why heaven lifts you higher with every passing day. Your person knows this. They see your blessings, they see your glow, they see how untouchable you have become. And inside, their heart breaks because they realize you deserve everything good coming your way. They wonder what life would have been if they had cherished you. They imagine how their days would have been brighter if only they had guarded your soul instead of hurting it. That imagining has become their curse. Because while you step into destiny, they remain chained to what could have been. And the difference between your rise and their fall becomes more visible every day. Type Amen to get blessing 2626. They see the way others are drawn to you now. Your presence, your kindness, your purity attracts hearts like a flame attracts moths. And that sight fills them with both admiration and sorrow. They feel jealousy, not because others love you, but because they lost the chance to be the one beside you. That jealousy burns quietly, hidden in their chest, but it never fades. Every time they think they've moved on, they see something that reminds them of you. A smile, a word, a place. And suddenly, the wound inside them opens again. Their spirit is restless because it knows the truth: no one will ever replace you. And that truth is their lifelong burden. Type Amen to get blessing 2727. They remember the way you believed in them when no one else did. The way you gave them hope when they felt lost. And now, they realize that was love they will never find again. That realization is heavier than any punishment. Because punishments end, but regret never does. Regret lingers, grows, and multiplies with time. You were the answer to prayers they didn't even know they had. And now, they see that losing you was not just losing a person, it was losing their destiny. Your purity shines brighter each day, and they are left in darkness. That contrast will never fade, and they know it. Type Amen to get blessing 2828. They never thought your silence would speak so loudly. They expected you to collapse, to break, to beg for their presence. But instead, your silence turned into the most powerful voice, echoing across every memory they have. That silence shows them what words never could, that you are not defined by what was done to you, but by the strength within you. They now see clearly that your purity was never weakness, it was the rarest kind of strength. And that strength is what shatters them now. Every time they try to distract themselves, your face appears in their mind. Every laugh they hear reminds them of the laughter they once shared with you. And no matter how hard they try to bury it, it returns, stronger than before. Their nights are the hardest. In the quiet, when no one is around, they feel the weight of all they lost. They cry quietly, not because they are weak, but because they finally understand the value of the soul they hurt. Type Amen to get blessing 2929. Archangel Michael says, the storms you endured have turned into wings of light. They lift you higher now, while those who hurt you are left on the ground with their regrets. Your rise is not just survival, it is divine justice. Your person sees you shining brighter, and it breaks them. They know they no longer have a place in your journey. The one who once doubted you now believes in you more than anyone, but it is too late. Their pride once blinded them, but now humility has filled their spirit. They know they wronged a soul that heaven treasured. And that knowledge keeps them awake at night. Every blessing that comes your way is a reminder that they are not part of your destiny anymore. They watch from afar, and their tears fall quietly. Type Amen to get blessing 3030. They keep asking themselves in silence how they could have been so blind. How they could have traded something eternal for something temporary. That question tortures them, because there is no answer that can undo it. The truth is clear to them now, you were never ordinary. You were a soul meant to rise, a soul meant to glow even after betrayal. And they now know they were the ones who failed. Every thought of you is bittersweet. Sweet, because they remember your love. Bitter, because they know they no longer deserve it. And that duality breaks them more than words can explain. They carry that pain quietly, never showing it to others. But inside, it grows stronger every day, until it feels unbearable. Type Amen to get blessing 3131. You, however, are untouchable now. The same storms that tried to destroy you only refined your soul. You carry a glow that no shadow can hide. Your person sees that glow in everything you do. They see how others are drawn to you, how heaven favors you, how your path is filled with blessings. And that sight humbles them deeply. They realize they lost not just a person, they lost their chance at a future filled with light. They lost the one soul that could have changed their entire life. And now, they must live with that truth. Their pain is not from punishment, it is from realization. Realization that you were the greatest blessing they ever had, and they let it slip away. Type Amen to get blessing 3232. The purity of your soul continues to echo through their spirit. No matter how much they try to erase it, they cannot. It is carved into them like an eternal mark. They thought time would heal, but time has only magnified the truth. The longer they live without you, the more they see your value. And that value is priceless. Every day they watch your strength grow, they feel weaker inside. Because they know that everything they hoped to destroy only made you stronger. And that truth pierces them like fire. They see now that your soul was never breakable. It was unshakable, unstoppable, and pure beyond understanding. Type Amen to get blessing 3333.